the yogurt is gonna be there for 10 hours. It's an easy way to add protein to your meal. I don't know if it was clear. Yes, you have to use violence. I like salmon, I like black beans. It's gonna work, right? Welcome to my Thursday, welcome to my vlog. Today is gonna be an indoor vlog. I don't have plans to go out. Like for the last 3 vlogs, I had to go out, but today I can stay home, which is a good thing because I have a lot of things to do. I have to work, and today I have a few preparations to make. I think it's gonna be a good idea to show them here on the vlog so you can get inspired as well. I believe all of them are super doable, they are easy, and they actually, let me just get out of here. And I think they are super simple, and yet they can help us to live a healthier lifestyle because they make the process of cooking more convenient. And when we make it more convenient, of course, we are going to do more. We are going to have less resistance. And of course, I do believe they are doable because I do them almost on a weekly basis, all of them. I'm constantly repeating all the process that I'm gonna show today on this vlog. And the first of them, actually, maybe it's the only one that you would have to consider a equipment, a new device. I'm gonna start by making the yogurt because this takes more time. And I have a yogurt maker. I love my yogurt maker. And here's the thing, you can make yogurt without a yogurt maker. It makes things easier. Of course, it's way easier, I would say. But if you are a person who are not sure that you would eat a lot of yogurt, try with a more traditional method, not using a yogurt maker. But if you like yogurt, I would say the upfront cost is almost nothing compared with what you're actually going to save in the process. Because I haven't bought yogurt since I got my machine. It's unbelievable. It's not that expensive. So every time I make yogurt, I save some. Oh no, this is not yogurt. This is real life, guys. Where is the yogurt? This one must be the yogurt. Every time I make a new batch, I save some so I don't have to worry. And it's as simple as mixing the leftover yogurt that I have with milk and leave it here for a few hours. Yeah, a lot of hours, but you don't have to do anything besides mixing yogurt with milk. So the yogurt is gonna be there for 10 hours, which means we have 10 hours free to have fun with other projects, right? Let's face this way. We can always choose how we look at situations. As I said, we have a lot of fun things to do today, but first I have to work. I have some writing and editing to do. I like to start my mornings when my brain is still fresh with working, and then we are going to have fun for the rest of the day. It's time to start the preparations for today. Actually, we already did with the yogurt, right? But anyways, it's because the yogurt, I make yogurt like twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, so I don't consider it like a special preparation. But following our agenda, our schedule, now it's time, Yeah, I'm not a very organized person. Anyways, now it's time to make tomato sauce. I like to make a basic tomato sauce and store it in my fridge. I don't make a lot. If I did, I would put in the freezer, but I don't have a lot of space in my freezer. So I have to be making tomato sauce quite often. But if you have a bigger freezer than me, you can actually make it less often. And yeah, and you always have fresh tomato sauce. The advantages. First, the cost, of course. Secondly, it's so much healthier because you are not going to use preservatives. If you buy organic tomatoes like I do, you are going to ensure that your family is not eating poison and other harmful substance. Another amazing advantage, you control the flavor as well. You can make it any style. My preference is to make a basic sauce so I can add things, or I can, how can I say, I can elevate it when I cook. So I'm gonna make a simple sauce with simple ingredients, simple seasoning, and when I'm preparing something more sophisticated, not that way. If I want to do something different, I can always add more. For this sauce, I'm gonna use tomatoes. As I said, organic tomatoes is the best option, but do whatever you want or you can. Garlic, onions, basil that I have in my garden, and that's it. Yeah, olive oil, and that's it. And it doesn't take too much. Actually, the prep itself doesn't take a lot. You just have to leave the tomatoes cooking, but you don't have to do anything while they are cooking. Actually, we are going to do other things while they are cooking because we are going to optimize our time. I'm gonna start with the onions. Actually, I use shallots because I usually buy shallots. We are a house of two, and shallots, they usually are smaller than onion. And when I'm cooking, most of the time, I don't need a whole onion. It's too big for us. So I always buy shallots because they are smaller. As simple as that. But you can use onions, any onions you want. Actually, the first time I'm using this, I bought it yesterday from Costco, if you watched my vlog from yesterday, and my expectations were higher than that. It's, I don't know, maybe I'm not using it correctly. Oh, there's something here? No, it's not working. Wow. And now garlic. I don't add water. I just let the tomatoes release their own water, and it's gonna be enough. Usually it's enough. If it's not, I can always add water later. I'm just gonna add salt right now. And you probably noticed that I didn't remove skins or seeds. I use everything of the tomato. We shouldn't be afraid of them. Actually, they add fibers to the meals. If you buy tomatoes that are not organic, maybe it would be a good idea to remove the skin. This process, of course, doesn't solve the pesticide problem, but at least it's a small step towards a healthier option. But I use everything and it doesn't bother me or my husband. Actually, I like this rustic feeling when I'm eating tomato sauce. But if you don't want the seeds or the skin, Of course, you can remove them. Be mindful that you are going to add steps to your process. And as I always say here, we have to find ways to make it easier so we make good choices on our daily lives. If I know that it's gonna give me a lot of trouble to make something, of course I'm gonna procrastinate and I'm not gonna do it. And you are probably like me, right? Because we both are human beings. I would say test. Just test, see how it goes, and analyze your process. Think about ways that you can make it easier for you. And most important, always ask yourself, what was the part that made me doubt? What was the part that I don't want to do that? And instead of being stuck on that part, think about ways to make it easier for the next time. I'm gonna let these tomatoes shimmering for a few minutes. It's not gonna take too long, to be honest. They are going to release water, and after that I'm gonna add ground pepper, freshly grounded. Let it cool, and once it's cool enough, I'm gonna add the herbs. I'm only using basil from my garden, but of course you can use any herbs you want. I love this way, this rustic way. As you can see, you can actually bite the tomatoes. I love this way. But if you don't like it, no worries. Of course, you can always chop the tomatoes smaller. You can use a hand mixer and mix it, everything, so it's gonna be smooth. Or you can pass by a blender, a regular blender as well. I mean, as I always say here on the vlogs, I'm not here to tell you what to do, what to eat. I'm here to inspire you. So I'm sharing my personal recipe so you can get inspired by it and find your own way to make your tomato sauce. Here a disclaimer. Maybe you are finding that I put a lot of onion or actually shallots, but it's because first we love the taste, and secondly because shallots have a mild taste, so it's not as strong as onion. So have that in mind when you make your own sauce. I'm gonna grind pepper over it, and then I'm gonna let it sit to cool down, add the basil, and after that we can actually use it or put in the fridge for another time. Let's make a pause for lunch. And speaking of preparation, I don't cook for lunch because I always cook double for dinner, so I don't have to worry. This is a small thing that you can do, like it's a small tip for you, because we are not talking about this huge preparation for the whole week of meals. I'm just saying, why not cooking double when you cook so you don't have to worry about your next meal? In the middle of a work week day, is almost impossible to think about something healthy, to prepare something healthy. Try to do that to improve the quality of your meal. And now that my sauce is cool and it smells amazing, I'm gonna cut some fresh basil to finish. Now that it tastes amazing, I'm gonna put in some jars and store. And I should probably get an apron for the next step before it's too late. Let me just adjust the mic so it doesn't get in the way. Better. I have a mason jar here. Maybe I'm gonna need a few more containers. And the second preparation today is also a sauce. Yeah, you could call it a sauce. It's a cream. I'm gonna make mushroom cream. I think this is such a versatile thing to have in your fridge because it's a sauce itself. You can make a pasta and use it as a sauce. You can use as a sauce for your steak, for your chicken. I mean, you can use in a variety of dishes. Sometimes I mix it with my tomato sauce and I have like a, it's not a rosé, something like that sauce. And another thing that I like about this is that it's an easy way to add protein to your meal because I always track my macros and sometimes I just need those extra grams of protein in my day. So I add a sauce to my salad or to a steak, as I said. I mean, I always have them as well. I always buy these mushrooms at Costco so I can make this sauce and have in my fridge for any time I need. I'm gonna add some milk to the mushrooms. I know some people do it with cream. I prefer with milk because it's healthier and actually I like the consistency with milk. The key is to not use too much milk. Don't make it too liquid. I cut my mushrooms in, I wouldn't say big chunks, but they are not super small, I would say, because I like this way as well. The same with the tomato sauce. Of course, they are going to shrink, so they are going to become smaller. And by the end, you can also pass them by a blender or use a hand mixer to make it smooth. So do you. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna wait for the mushroom to shrink a little bit and then I'm gonna see the proportion of the milk. I kind of eyeball it. Now I'm gonna add salt, let it sit for a few minutes, see how it goes until it gets to the consistency I want. After I get to the consistency I want, I see how much of milk I need to add. So I prefer to start very conservative with the milk, and once I see the consistency I want on the mushrooms, I am gonna complete the milk that I think I needed. I don't know if it was clear. I don't wanna add too much milk and then see the sauce become too liquid. And here is a good example why it's better to wait to add more milk. As I said, the mushroom will release a lot of water, so it's gonna get liquid. I think they're not gonna dissolve any more than this. So I'm gonna let the lid open so it can dry a little bit. But if it doesn't get more creamy than this, I'm gonna use my hand mixer. I'm gonna see. That happens sometimes. It's not a problem. It's just an extra step. I like this way. You can see there's still a few chunks of mushrooms. I like this way. You can always blend more and get to the consistency you need. Actually, if you want, you can even add more milk at this point because it's pretty thick. But I like this way because I think it's more versatile. When I have to use, if I needed more liquid, I just have to add a dash of milk and it's always easier to correct it that way. And another thing is I'm gonna season pretty simple, the same idea that I had for the tomato sauce. I'm gonna add some thyme and ground pepper, and when I'm preparing the dishes I can always add more. Sometimes I add ginger. I love with ginger. Sometimes I use soy sauce as well. So there are a lot of things that you can do with this, and the simpler you make it, the more versatile will be when you have to use it. I need. I like it. A little more of pepper and salt, and it's gonna be perfect. Let's taste it again. Perfect. Now I'm gonna let it cool so I can put it in containers and store for when I want to enjoy it. And now another easy preparation. I'm gonna take advantage that I got this yesterday and I'm still learning how to use it properly, but it's saving me a lot of time today. I'm gonna make some preparations for salad because one of the main roadblocks that I have people having to eat more vegetables is the preparation. I know sometimes we just want something quick or we want something that we don't have to work a lot. And I know that cutting veggies, it's not one of the most fun activities to do. I like to cut them in advance and have them in my fridge. As simple as that, I don't have excuse. I'm gonna chop a few carrots, radish, and cucumber for my salads. I'm gonna start with the carrots. Because I like to start by the driest one, because they don't make the chopper dirty. If I start by the cucumber, I'll have to clean it because it's gonna be dirty. The cucumber has a lot of water in it. So I'm gonna start by this carrots and then the radish and then the cucumber so I don't have to clean anything. You have to use violence. So I'm cutting the thinner ones because they are easier, and I'm gonna shred the larger ones, the thicker ones, because it's easier to shred it. And when I eat salad, if I eat the carrots raw, I prefer shredded. These cuts I'm gonna use when I have to cook the carrots, if I need them cook it or bake it. So these preps were for a normal day for me because I'm usually prepping something. We try to avoid processed food as much as we can. So I'm always doing something. And that's why I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, because I post very often, and on every vlog you're going to see tips and tricks on how to cook smarter so you can have a healthier lifestyle. Tomorrow, for example, I'm waiting on Amazon to deliver my food processor. So I'm gonna make, what should I call, like garlic paste? It's not garlic paste. You know when you buy those garlic season, I have some here. Actually, I have this huge jar that I get from Costco. Minced garlic, I would say. So of course it's processed, and I use a lot because I use a lot of garlic, and of course on a daily basis it's hard to mince garlic every time. I do it on special occasions like Saturday night if I'm preparing a more elaborated dinner, but on a daily basis I use this one. So my idea is to start to make that by myself. I'm gonna mince the garlic on the food processor, mix with olive oil, a good quality olive oil, and this way one less processed thing that we are going to eat on a daily basis. So that's why, if you want, I would say subscribe to my channel so you can see all my adventures in the kitchen. And by the way, consider subscribe to my newsletter, because on my newsletter I post all the recipes with nutritional value. I post educational videos there on nutrition, fitness. We can learn a lot together. We can do yoga together there because I post yoga flows there, and you watch the vlogs one day early with no ads, no interruption. So go to lucianacoto.com and sign up for my newsletter. I'll be waiting for you there. It's time to make dinner. Tonight I'm gonna make salmon. This is a recipe that I prepare all the time. It's the easiest way to cook salmon, and yeah, because it's super easy. I'm gonna mix soy sauce with honey and brush the salmon with that mixture, wrap it in parchment paper and let in the oven for 10 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's gonna be done. And you don't even have any dirty skillet or something to have to wash after that. And I'm gonna take advantage of the prep I made today. I'm gonna prepare a salad. I have beans because I cooked beans yesterday, black beans. So I think I'm gonna get the rest of the beans and make a salad. I don't know if black beans goes with salmon, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I mean, I like salmon, I like black beans, it's gonna work, right? For spending the day with me. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. I post vlogs like this 3 times a week. Want early ad-free access to my vlogs, plus educational videos on health and wellness, recipes, yoga classes, and more? Subscribe to my newsletter at lucianacoto.com.